still bring back coronavirus under this new travel restriction?
Sure, but we have them very heavily tested. If an American's coming back or anybody's coming back, we're testing. We have a tremendous testing setup where people coming in have to be tested. We're not putting them on planes if it shows positive.
Americans coming back, anybody coming into this country is being very heavily tested. We have a tremendous testing setup. That is not true at all. On the menu of things that President Trump has said in his 3+ years in office that are not true, this is one of the easier ones to fact check. This is just flat not happening, no matter how many times he says it.
We have them very heavily tested. If an American's coming back or anybody's coming back, we're testing.
Americans are not being very heavily tested for coronavirus before they get here from another country, once they get here from another country, or if they're just here and haven't gone to another country. I mean, that's not happening. That is a whole logistical, functional, operational thing the president has imagined and is now declaring to the American people as the way it is. That was just today, but this is not a one-off. This is every day from him. And it turns out it has serious consequences. When in the middle of a severe public health emergency, the president just lies about it over and over and over again.
We're going to be pretty soon at only 5 people, and we could be at just 1 or 2 people over the next short period of time.
Congress's top doctor has told Senate staffers that he expects 70 to 150 million Americans to contract the coronavirus.
I mean, view this the same as the flu.
The mortality of this is multiple times what seasonal flu is.
Anybody that needs a test gets a test.
We don't have enough tests today.
We're very close to a vaccine.
When you're talking about the availability of a vaccine, you're talking about a year to year and a half.
A lot of people think that goes away in April with the heat.
We do not know whether it's going to diminish as the weather gets warm.
The risk of contracting the coronavirus to the American public remains low.
We do expect more cases.
We can expect to see more cases in the United States.
We will see more cases, and things will get worse than they are right now.
It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
For us as a country, it is just unfortunate that we have that kind of a president who has that easy a time lying during this kind of a problem when we really need to know the truth.